Hello everyone, welcome back to my video. So today's video is extremely close to my heart. It is something that we all struggle day in, day out. But when done consistently and persistently, we can achieve success. So do you come across a client who you feel is a potential client, and you send out your product description or your company details to that customer? You email them, you call them, you text them, but then they don't get back to you, right? So today's video is about how to get more customer for your product or service. Okay, now I'm going to share with you 3 tips here. Believe me, it works wonderfully if you really put all the efforts in the right amount and in the right place. Okay, so number 1, focus on your content. Often what happens is that we try to run behind a customer. What happens is that the customer might not need your service or product at that point of time, so all you'll get an answer is no. But if you focus on giving out more content without worrying, who is my just target, you can just target everybody, whoever might, whether they need it or they don't need it. But just giving out right information, right content about your product helps a lot. It just adds information and value to the client when they look at it. Okay, sometimes you have to remember that you have to create the need and not just just say that this is what I do. When the information is out there, people get knowledge about it. So number 1, make sure that there is enough content there in your profile that a customer would like to visit again and read, right? So even if they don't want to, but when they read something, they get information. So you don't come across as just selling your product, you come across as a genuine person who wants to help them, right? Number 2, focus on getting more traffic to your profile. What happens is that we just focus on running behind the client and running behind a customer. So we start searching all like HR heads or whatever your services that that you provide, content writer, digital marketer. Here what the problem is that you are running behind a customer. Now like I said, the customer, obviously the first reaction of the customer will be, I don't want it, I don't require it, or I'm too busy right now, But when you focus on number 1, that is content creation, more knowledge and more information on your pages. Number 2, it's now here what happens is that by already doing step number 1, you are creating traffic, a flow of customer to your website or to your social media pages that you have. Here what happens that instead of you going to the customers have started now following you and your work, right? So here by default you have already done a marketing by giving out information, and you have already by default got a client that is coming to you. Here those who need you, those who appreciate your work, they'll approach you, and that's how you can get your customer. Keep in mind that the information and the content that you are giving has to be, of course, to the selected client that you want to target, the target audience. But the idea here is to reach the larger medium and just not be focused on that smaller medium that you feel your product or service is for, right? And number 3, lastly, that I wanted to share was, please make sure your profile is visible and approachable. Often what happens is that you have all the right amount of information and right amount of people following you, but one thing that really lacks is visibility and approachability. Now this is where the problem is that whenever a client comes to me and says that I want to increase my sales, or I want more customer, and when I scan their profile, I come to see that they don't have any website mentioned, they don't have any address mentioned, they don't have any phone number mentioned, they don't have any email mentioned. So if a potential client even wants to approach you for some work, right, where do they meet you, where do they find you? They're not visible anywhere. I mean, your address is not visible anywhere, right? So make sure these basic things are in place, so that whoever wishes to get in touch with you, at least they know how to get you, right? So these are some of the tips that I follow, and I feel it really helps me. I'm sure it's going to help you too if you put the right amount of information out there. Now the question will come that how do I plan my content creation? Then there There are so many, websites out there. There are so many. You can try Google, just Google it out, how to make a calendar for yourself, social media calendar, and there you go. Just follow that calendar, and I'm sure you're gonna be awesome. You're gonna rock your profiles. So this is it from me to you. I hope that this helps you, and let me know if there are more questions, and please put your comments if there are any in the comment section below, and see you later.